I love how the first comment on this video is if Count Dankula was teaching a history class, I would definitely sign up for every single class, or I would watch every single class. I don't know if I'm quoting it right. Shout out to Count Dankula. As always, if you want to take down any of my videos, I will. This is Absolute Mad Lads, Shoko Asahara. As many of you have been requesting, let's hop into here. Let's waste no more time. Send out a lot of love to you, ladies and gents. If you want me to if you want to recommend me any videos, you know what to do. And links are down below. But let's hop straight in.
They believe some really cults are pretty fascinating.
Oh, okay. Cults are pretty.
They believe some really insane and outlandish things. Yet, despite this, they always seem to gather a lot of members and become very popular. And while we might find cults and their beliefs very funny, they never end well, do they? Shoko Asahara.
When he said they never really end well, do they? It made me think about the one cult where the dude got all the people to drink the like cyanide poison Kool-Aid or whatever was in the Kool-Aid. That's what it when he said it never really ends well. It kind of like made me think like all cults, like get it, like the cults. What am I saying, bro? I'm losing brain cells. Okay, it's his rock intro. Yeah, I love his videos, man. I would take that history class too. So it's a Shoko Asahara.
Was born on March the 2nd, 1955, under his real name Chizuo Matsumoto, and he was born into a large family of impoverished tatami mat makers. He was born with infantile glaucoma, which caused him to lose all of the sight in his left eye and most of the sight in his right eye. Because of this, he was enrolled in a school for the blind, but apparently, while he was at this school, he was a bully who would beat other students and take their money. At least according to eyewitness reports.
I see what he did there. The eyewitness supports. According to the eyewitness reports, what a clown.
After he graduated school, he ended up working in acupuncture and traditional medicine, which was a really common career for blind people in Japan. He ended up marrying and he...
Acupuncture was a common career? Like knowing the points would... Wait, bro, what?
After he graduated school, he ended up working in acupuncture and traditional medicine, which was a really common career for blind people in Japan.
That has to be sarcastic, bro. What? Isn't acupuncture basically knowing about the certain points in the body where you put the needles? So wouldn't you need to have good eyesight for that? Or I guess maybe good like touch and feel. Those senses would be enhanced, so maybe you would know where to put them.
He ended up marrying and he fathered 12 children.
12.
In 1981, he was convicted of practicing pharmacy without a license because he was caught selling unregulated drugs. And it was roughly around this time that he started taking a massive interest in the various religions and spiritual teachings from all around the world. And he engrossed himself in learning everything that he could about them. In 1984, from his one-bedroom apartment in Tokyo's Shibuya ward, Shoko Asahara decided to start a new religious order that he named Om Shinrikyo, which roughly translates into Religion of Truth or Universal Supreme Truth. And it was around about this time that he changed his name from Chizuo Matsumoto to Shoko Asahara. Shoko applied for government registration to get Om Shinrikyo recognised as a legal religion. The authorities were very reluctant at first, but after an appeal, Om Shinrikyo was granted government recognition as a legal religious corporation. Om Shinrikyo borrowed teachings from pretty much every single religious and spiritual order that existed. Everything from Christianity to Buddhism, from Nostradamus to yoga, and for some reason they even borrowed some teachings and prophecies from Isaac Asimov's science fiction novels. Shoko claimed that he had the power to cure illnesses and diseases, and that he also had the power to absorb the sins from a person and transfer onto them magical and spiritual powers, and his ultimate goal was to absorb the sins of the entire world so that they would be prepared for what was to come. But what did he mean when he say what was to come? Well, it just wouldn't be a cult without a doomsday prophecy now, would it? Shoko...
It wouldn't be a cult without a doomsday prophecy, no, it wouldn't.
Told his followers that the world was going to come to an end in a nuclear war that would be started by America, and the entire thing would be instigated by certain groups of people that Shoko very often blamed for all of the world's problems and conspiracies. The people...
It's very...
People that Shoko Asahara would always blame for the world's problems and conspiracies ranged from rival Japanese religions, to the British royal family, to the Dutch, for some reason, to the Freemasons, and it just wouldn't be a conspiracy without them, the Jews. Shoko said that only those who joined Aum Shinrikyo and were enlightened would survive the end of the world, and afterwards they would together...
He's dead now, isn't he? He's dead now, isn't he?
Rebuild a better civilization based on the foundations of Shoko Asahara's teachings. But what made Shoko Asahara the man for the job?
Yeah.
What made him so special? Well, it was because he declared himself the Christ in his book, Declaring Myself the Christ. But obviously, a cult needs members. So Aum Shinrikyo's PR team got to work in creating media that they could send around to all the outlets and spread the word. Most of these at first were just videos on Aum Shinrikyo's teachings and meditation, some of these even featuring Shoko Asahara himself. Shoko even took himself on tour to do some public speaking, where he was very often wheeled out on stage like an in-flight dinner, as well as making a little bit of money while he did it.
Followers paid thousands of dollars to be blessed by Asahara, to drink his blood or tea brewed from his hair.
Wow, what, bro? Drink his blood? Bro, how? I swear there was a video that got recommended to me before called how cult mindsets happen, or how cults form.
And to
And honestly,
wear the Aum's trademark headgear, fitted with electrodes, supposed to transmit the guru's brainwaves.
This was taken even further, and Shoko and his cult members actually started doing full...
My bad. Let me not shine over the fact that they said they also drink tea brewed from his hair.
On TV appearances, teaching Japan all about their strange religion through yoga positions and extremely informative displays like this.
What in the hell?
And for some reason they also televised really, really creepy dances. There was also
What is happening?
one very special interview that Shoko Asahara did.
Wait. I want to... Charisma is not another thing that the wisdom... Charisma is not another thing that the wisdom given by gods, you have it. If you use it exactly, influencing positively in young people, your life will be beautiful.
Does this man look familiar? That's Takeshi Kitano, the guy who played the teacher in Battle Royale. He was also in Ghost in the Shell, but arguably his most iconic role was as Count Takeshi in Takeshi's Castle. The leader of a doomsday cult managed to get an interview with everyone's favourite happy clappy jappy chappy. But it doesn't stop there. Aum Shinrikyo's PR department set out to do something that would probably be the greatest and most entertaining thing that they ever did. They made an anime.
Bro, you are absolutely lying. I was trying to really see how I felt about that thing he said about charisma. But
化身が抜け出したい。そして形状界と呼ばれる異次元で活動を始めた。
Bro, what is the context behind this? I don't even understand. Like, meditation, ascension, like what? Okay, but like, what is going on? What was he saying in the beginning? I need the translation. What is the context between this clip? Also, I think it's funny that he declared himself Christ, and of course, he took a Christ-like appearance. Like, no one understands that it could really. I don't want to get deep and esoteric about certain things and certain programming that has been instilled in the people, but if you know about programming, they put a certain image out. Of course, I don't want to get deep, but of course, it's funny how he looks like the programmed Jesus Christ they have all up here to look at. I mean, he's like, what I assume right now is he's in the state akin to sleep, where you basically are well, I've never heard of anyone actually astral projecting during meditation, but I'm pretty sure okay. See, this isn't, I don't talk about this stuff anymore, so my brain's not refreshed on it, but times when I'm doing my meditation, you can put your mind in other places. Like, you can put your mind and body in different places, but you can't get as far as you can as when you astral project at night. And by the way, if anyone comes across astral projection or people teaching you how to do it, every night you're astral projecting. But those who are lucid just have more awareness to it, like lucid dreaming. Like, I get what he's doing, because I've had meditations like this. But you fall asleep during it. I also heard if you fall asleep during meditation, you're doing it right. But pretty much I sat on my porch and flew basically around the whole place I lived. Literally anyone can make it.
Despite how ridiculous all of this PR was and how stupid their beliefs were, this worked. Loads and loads of people started joining, and Aum Shinrikyo eventually had around 10,000 members. But Aum Shinrikyo didn't attract the poorly educated.
That's sad, though, because that actually happens to you in meditation. Well, I would say when you fall asleep. I've put my mind places in meditation, like where I want to go, or you visualize yourself like flying and stuff like that, and it takes you there. And having control of your dreams and stuff like that, these are all very real things that happen and are very, like, really good practices that you should do. But I don't understand how it's tied. It shouldn't be tied in a religious fashion. That's
the poor or the destitute, weird. You know, the type of people that cults usually attract. It attracted some seriously rich people, and people that had qualifications from some of Japan's most prestigious universities, which ended up giving Aum Shinrikyo the vision of being a religion for the elite. Where have we seen that before?
I knew it. I love it.
So the cult was starting to grow in membership. Lots and lots of people were starting to join. And in the process, they would sign contracts and documents that would sign all of their wealth and possessions.
Oh, that is so weird. How does no one see that that is weird? Bro, they're wearing heads. They're wearing his head. Is he on his phone over there? Oh, no, he's clapping. He's clapping.
Aum Shinrikyo.
My bad. He's clapping along. Bro, this one scene should tell you something is up.
In the cult. But things only got weirder from there. They started doing public displays to sort of show off the magical powers that they had gained through becoming enlightened by the cult. Some of these included depriving themselves of food and water for a long period of time and then submerging themselves in very hot baths. Another one was several cult members were actually buried underground with no food and water for 6 days. Shoko and his followers even went as far as to try and get...
Wait, don't just say that and then give no more detail, Count Dankula. Did they survive?
Elected to the Japanese parliament. So on their election campaign, they travelled around Tokyo singing and dancing and spreading their teachings.
You know what I believe, since these people are so rooted in like certain conspiracies and religion and stuff, and we truly don't know the true story of everything going on behind the scenes, is sometimes I feel like these people are put in power. Even if we hear or have their backstory, nah. I definitely feel like these certain people rise to a certain amount of influence because there's definitely something deeper. That is conspiracy. You can say that. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I just think we don't know the full story of how these people gain this much influence. I don't believe, like, maybe it is the belief in yourself, if you know about the laws of the universe. Maybe that belief that he really felt like he was here to change things and to stop these people from dying on a doomsday, that reflected to him the reality he got. I mean, if he's as confident, shit, I don't know, but I just, like, I don't know, something just feels weird that many people, because, you know, I don't want to do the whole stereotype, but you know how they stereotype? No, maybe we'll do it in the second part of this. I'm gonna end it at like a halfway mark.
They lost the election. In order to try and spread his religion, Shoko Asahara travelled to Russia with the intent of opening an Aum Shinrikyo branch there, and this resulted in 30,000 new members joining Aum Shinrikyo from Russia. Through the connections that he made with his new Russian members, and also a few bribes, Shoko was able to make connections high up in the Russian government, and these high up Russian government connections is something that Shoko would keep aside for future plans. However, a lot of people started to take notice. A lot of people in Japan were starting to get really, really suspicious of the cult and their behaviour. The cult started running hospitals that would lure people in for treatment, and then once the treatment was finished, they would hand them an extremely massive bill to try and extort money off them. They were also bullying their own members even more to get them to hand over even more of their money and assets. And the most worrying thing was people who wanted to leave the cult, or people who simply criticised the cult, would just mysteriously disappear.
What?
So public suspicion of the
Stop that, bro. Get that story out there. What?
cult was
they might take him next.
an all-time high. And in 1992, when Aum Shinrikyo rented a building in downtown Tokyo, people got even more suspicious because the building's windows were completely blacked out. No one was allowed in or even near the building, and anytime residents approached the cult members that were guarding the building to ask what they were doing, they refused to give any information. The local residents started to watch the building, and they started to document and take photographs of any suspicious goings-on that they seen. And one of the main things that they noticed was there was a lot of strange looking equipment being loaded into the building. Then one night, everyone in the neighbourhood was woken up by an extremely noxious smell that was wafting through the neighbourhood. And so everyone got up out of their beds and charged towards the Aum Shinrikyo building, which is where it was coming from. And they started screaming and shouting at everyone they seen. They even actually managed to surround Shoko Asahara when he was trying to leave in his armoured Mercedes. But despite this, it took inspectors 2 weeks to actually come out and inspect the building. And by that point, the building had already been emptied. It's almost like Aum Shinrikyo were given time to clear out. It's almost like Aum Shinrikyo knew the inspectors were coming. Whatever project was going on in this building, it was then moved to a more rural and secretive building, where work on it continued. And shortly after this, a really strange event happened in the city of Matsumoto. Residents of an apartment block in the surrounding neighbourhood were woken up by an extremely noxious smell. And then people started actually falling unconscious. So,
bro, okay. This is where we build some... Look at his face. This is where we build some tension. I'm going to go here. Go ahead and end this right here. I'm extremely itching to let the video continue and play part 2. Wow. Cults, man. Cults. That's why you just do your own thing and don't fall victim to cults, man. Nobody can save you here. You came in this world alone and you leave it alone. Just deal with yourself. Even the word culture has the 4 letters before it, cult. Even culture is a trap at times. Just be yourself. Believe in you. And as long as you're not harming anyone else, just live life. Enjoy life. I know that there's this weird gray area of like maybe there's some weird balance in the universe where we do need criminals and stuff to exist and make the balance on Earth. I don't know. Creation needs a devil. Devil needs an advocate. I don't know. But in times of the world right now, for the like the things going on right now, just try not to harm anybody. Try to add some light to the world. Hey, like I'm trying to do with these videos. Try to put a little smile. Much love and moonlight from the one true God right here, Lunar. I am starting a new religion, guys, by the way. Literally, if I did, it would literally just be to help one another. And like, I don't know how do these, this is what I'm saying, isn't that weird to y'all? How do they get this far? It's not, there's no way it's just influence, bro. Well, maybe it does start off as being like charismatic and stuff. There's someone who's told me that like, there was this guy actually. See, I'm supposed to be ending the video, but I'm giving y'all this little throw on because you know me, I talk a lot. I was streaming on. If you guys ever heard of it, it's called what is it called? Periscope, right? Because I seen a couple people I liked using Periscope, and I was like the only one in my area using it. And people can request to be in your live just like Instagram. And I remember when there was one guy who was talking to me, and he was just telling me like what I do, and he was another man of color. I don't want to say it like that seems programmed, but it was another black dude, and he was a model and a bunch of other stuff. And at the time I was a dancer, like I was doing my dance stuff, and he followed me on Instagram, blah blah, a lot of other stuff. But the gist of the story is that he said, dude, like he's a model. He's like, yo, you have the look for it, which I have done some modeling in the past. But then he went on to explain how, you know, why don't I just use my looks to like get what I want? Like I'm very like, you know, like, or he said, you're telling me you've never used your looks to get what you want, and like that charismatic kind of nature that I have. And it occurred to me like, no, I haven't used my looks I've never thought of it that way. And to be frankly honest, I think I just look like a normal guy. Other than that, I don't know. I put myself to a level, but, and don't take that weird. I do feel good about myself, but I feel like all of that only gets to a certain degree. Like there's no way that just being charismatic, and maybe if they really like the look of him appearing like the image they show you is Jesus, like, no, like I don't know, like he was handsome and charismatic and said some stuff that like I honestly feel like you could collect 100 fortune cookies and probably come up with your own philosophy, like, or like just saying some good stuff to really like, you know. And he was well studied. I'm not going to you know, shit on the man's. From what we've known from Count Dankula, he was well studied in every religion or every like spiritual practice that he was able to, you know, take from them and make something anew. So, you know, revise it in his own way. So there's also that. But I mean, that's also not hard if you put in the work to do that, if you want to do that. But you're not telling me that alone is what got him. He must have really had some magic to him. Nah, he really must have believed. Anyways, okay, this is going on too long. I'll see you on the next one. Much love and moonlight, as always. And remember, just dude, I know if you're watching this, you're probably not going to fall into a cult. So, yeah. I'm done. I'm out of here. Peace.